Around the year 1600, the land we now call New York was Lenape territory. Dense forests, wetlands, and rivers rich with fish shaped the landscape. They lived in villages, farmed corn, beans, and squash, hunted deer, and traded along river routes. New Amsterdam did not yet exist. It was an indigenous world, living, organized, and deeply connected to the land. Around 1600, Manhattan was an island of forests, wetlands, and rocky shoreline. Oyster beds filled the harbor, and the Hudson and East Rivers were rich migration routes for fish. Deer, bears, and countless birds were part of daily life. This was not an empty land. It was a complex ecosystem, managed and used with knowledge built over generations. Lenape society was organized in villages and kinship networks. Leadership was based on consensus and community respect rather than absolute rule. Daily life followed the rhythm of seasons: planting, fishing, hunting, and gathering. Spiritual life was tied to nature, to cycles of water, forest, and sky. Their world was stable, but change was approaching from the sea. In 1609, the English navigator Henry Hudson, sailing for the Dutch East India Company, entered the great bay and river that would later carry his name. He was not searching for colonies, but for a route to Asia. His voyage, however, opened the door to trade, settlement, and a transformation that neither he nor the Lenape could fully foresee. The first encounters between Europeans and the Lenape involved curiosity, trade, and caution. Metal tools, beads, and cloth were exchanged for furs and food. These meetings were not simple gestures of friendship. They carried diseases, altered alliances among native nations, and began economic pressures that would slowly reshape the region. The beaver became the driving force of a new economy. European demand for felt hats made beaver pelts extremely valuable. Rivers turned into trading routes, and hunting patterns changed. For the Dutch, furs meant profit. For native communities, they brought new goods, new dependencies, and increasing competition for resources that had once seemed endless. In the 1620s, the Dutch West India Company established New Amsterdam at the southern tip of Manhattan. A fort, warehouses, and wooden houses soon appeared. This was not yet a great city, but a trading post on a contested frontier. From its beginning, New Amsterdam was commercial, diverse, and oriented toward the harbor and the world beyond the Atlantic. Daily life in New Amsterdam was demanding and practical. People worked at the docks, traded goods, brewed beer, tended small farms, and repaired ships. Winters were harsh, summers humid. The settlement was already multilingual and multi-ethnic. Dutch, German, Scandinavian, African, and indigenous people lived side by side, sometimes cooperating, sometimes in conflict. Fort Amsterdam symbolized both ambition and fear. Cannons pointed toward the water, guarding against rival European powers and local conflicts. The colony lived with a constant sense of uncertainty: storms, shortages, political disputes, and fragile alliances. New Amsterdam was not inevitable. It survived because it was useful to commerce. Although the official church was Dutch Reformed, religion in New Amsterdam was plural from the beginning. Different Christian traditions were present, and Jewish families would soon arrive. Faith shaped daily routines, moral rules, and celebrations. Yet even in matters of belief, the colony reflected its port identity: diverse, practical, and connected to many worlds. Women in New Amsterdam worked in markets, ran taverns, managed households, and in many cases participated directly in trade. Dutch legal traditions allowed certain property rights for married women uncommon elsewhere in Europe. Life, however, was hard. Disease, childbirth, and physical labor marked existence. Family life meant cooperation for survival more than comfort. From its early decades, New Amsterdam relied in part on enslaved African labor. Enslaved men and women built roads, cleared land, and worked in homes and farms. Some later obtained partial freedoms under Dutch rule, though never equality. Slavery was not a marginal detail. It was part of the foundations on which the future city would rise. In 1664, English warships arrived and took control of the colony, renaming it New York. Yet beneath the new name, older layers remained: Lenape homelands, Dutch streets, African labor, Atlantic trade. The city that would grow into a global metropolis began as a small harbor community where worlds met, sometimes in exchange, sometimes in conflict.